Hello. Hello, and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Sagittarius, tonight, our card is the Seven of Wands, which has everything to do with victory. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. Also, if you want to hit the little like button or leave a comment, if this is your first time, leave a comment. Let me know. Tell me you've come on by. Okay. Now, immediately, I just have to point this out because it looks very clear to me. It says R-I-N-G. So ring. Ring. Now this could be a ring like you wear on your finger. It could be, what is that security thing? The, the ring camera, maybe. Could be, I don't know, any kind of ring, right? A ring of fire. But that word comes through profoundly because it is in the middle of the cup, right? Which is really reserved for things that are kind of at the core of what's going on here. So something to do with a ring. Now we're going to keep looking and see if there's anything kind of explain what that has to do with. Okay, I want to start right here. So we have two people. They are divided, okay, by space. Okay, now in the middle, it looks like we do have a tower. Okay, you can even see the kind of people falling out of it. You see a person falling over here. It seems like there's been some kind of, you know, well, tower moment. Now, if you aren't familiar with the tower archetype or the tower card, this is when something fundamental to our life kind of collapses, right? Or we're in proximity to this happening in somebody's life, right? Somebody you care about, somebody you are close with. It does not always mean that it is your situation, but, you know, often it can be. Now, we have this between two people, okay? So, you know, I can't help but think that there has been some kind of turmoil, right? You've been at odds with somebody, or they've been at odds with you. You know, and I think that the energy I really feel from this is this kind of, well, it's hard to leave. That's what I keep thinking. It's hard to leave. It's a feeling of being very torn between, you know, maybe feeling that there's something better out there, or at least not as volatile, but there is the issue of your deep loyalties to those you love. Now, this might be a spouse, a partner, companion. It might be that this is family, right? It could be mom, dad, grown-up children, you know, other family members, right? Siblings or whoever. But it does feel that there is something between the two of you that you're kind of at an impasse, right? And or you have been. I mean, this could be that it's already happened, because we do have that tower moment. So there has to be some kind of situation that arises above all the other situations, and it's kind of like, all right, this is it. Whatever was done, whatever was said, the behaviors, the inability to kind of just get along, I feel that it's like, this is it. I'm done, you know. A real sense of, okay, what is next for me? What am I going to do, you know, with all of this feeling that I have? And it is a sense of like real self-preservation. I don't think this is just kind of, you know, wishy-washy on a whim. You're just kind of like, oh, well, I'm done, you know. I'm not interested here anymore, you know. No, this is like a cumulative pile of things. I mean, it's piling up, right? And so, yeah, I feel you making this decision. And now we have this person over here holding, it looks like they have a key. They also have a bird, okay? So I feel that there is a sense of looking for peace, right? Releasing that dove, that bird, but also having a key to the next room of your life, right? And if we think about our lives as like a grand mansion, the interior castle or mansion or whatever you want to call it, each doorway, each corridor, each hallway that we walk down can be attributed to maybe a different space in our life or a different period of time. And, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, all the doors open, we can go wherever we want. Sometimes we got to find the key and open that one door that we have not been able to get, you know, pried open, right? So, you know, I feel like this is really where you are making a decision for yourself, for your own peace, for your own well-being. It just feels like a lot. It feels, well, I mean, scary, right? Scary to think, you know, my life is going to be different in this way. Now, it might be that you don't even talk that often. Maybe you saw them at like a family event, or, you know, something happened on social media or whatever, right? And you don't really see them in day-to-day life. But even so, when we decide to kind of cut off family or go no contact, right? Or, of course, you know, it could be leaving a living situation. You know, if you see them often or not, right? Never an easy thing to do. You know, I think that's why a lot of people, you know, stay in these dynamics that really do not serve them well. They are unhealthy, they are toxic, detrimental to not only your well-being, spiritual, emotional well-being, but also to your physical well-being because of stress. You know, I don't know. It's my humble opinion. Maybe, you know, you can take that with a grain of salt or whatever. It's just but I don't think, you know, that we should be living lives where we are arguing, raising our voices, in conflict with the people that we care about. There is a way to live where, you know, you're not being treated poorly by people who are supposed to care about you. There is a way to live where we're not constantly, you know, going back and forth and sniping and getting into these, you know, situations that really do. I mean, it sticks with you. It can ruin your whole day, you know, and you think about it, you can barely sleep. You're just, ugh, you know, why keep that energy in our life? I don't know, because it feels familiar maybe, right? Because in some way we think we deserve it, or this is the only way there is. Well, I promise you, when you step outside of that kind of environment or that dynamic, and you start living without the constant arguing or feeling like everything that you say will be repeated or picked over or used against you, when you are away from that and living your life for, you know, even just weeks or months or whatever, and you think, my goodness, this is so different, you know, when you can get through 6 months, a year, and you haven't been in one single argument with a person, you know, it changes how you feel about the world. Absolutely it does. So, you know, I think this is something to think about, definitely. And, you know, listen, I'm not going to take the power away from you, because I already know that, you know, Sagittarius, you are a person of great heart, of great passion, of empathy and compassion for others. So, you should be treated the same, right? With the same considerations, with the same respect and belovedness. We can't settle for any less, you know, unless it's our kids, of course, I know. If they're a toddler or if they're a teenager, good luck. Sometimes we just have to put up with it to a certain amount, right? I know. I always tell my daughter, I'm like, you know, mommy never used to argue with anybody until you know, we started having to get into these not so much arguments, but, you know, always trying to barter or you know, work out a deal with me about like things. It's just like, no, you have to clean your room. The other day she told me, she's 4, by the way. The other day, yesterday even, I think, she told my husband, and I shout out to Dove and Serpentero. That's my husband, Paul over there. She told us, we were talking to her and trying to get her to, you know, do something, make a decision to do something, right? And she says, okay, well, I will do it, but this talk is over. And we both were like, oh my goodness. Oh, wow. All right. So anyways, let's continue on. We have, now it looks like a face to me. We have at least one eye here that I can see, maybe right here, but a nose, kind of, and I'm looking at this, it looks like an older person, okay? Now, we also have the ribbon up here, so I'm looking at this and it feels like maybe this is somebody who has gone through kind of chronic illness, maybe a terminal illness. I feel like maybe they're transitioned, or maybe that they're older, they're in maybe like a care home or a memory unit or something like this. Now, there's a real lunar energy with them. Okay, so I think that there was always a sense of them being somewhat eccentric anyways, right? But as they maybe got older and ailing, right, maybe that became more pronounced. Okay, so I feel like this is maybe somebody that you spent a lot of time with. Maybe you went and visited them a lot. Maybe you continue to do so. Maybe you were their caretaker. Maybe you still are. But I do feel that there is a real kind of confirmation of really being so genuinely thankful for you, for your connection with them. This maybe is that, like, literally you were in there cleaning the house and running the errands and, you know, doing all the things that we kind of do for our parents as they age, or other family members, or maybe it's your work. You know, it could be that you are somebody who helps with like home care and things like that. But I feel like there maybe was not ever expressed to the level, but just kind of this feeling of, even if it was that you were coming and visiting, once a week or every other week or whatever, just sitting with them and having conversations and, checking up on them, remembering to send them a card for their birthday and that kind of thing. I feel like this person really appreciated being remembered. Okay. And I feel that you know that, but they didn't ever, or they have not, and maybe they have not been able to, but to express, how much it means to them, and how you made them feel seen and heard and remembered, especially if they have passed and these are their last days. So this really, more than any other sign, I truly feel that Sagittarius people are ones that have such a, not just caring, not just like mediating, not just showing up for people, but really being involved. You give of yourself deeply. You are willing to share your time with others. You don't just kind of, think about it or grandstand about it. You don't just post it on the internets or whatever. No, you're there. You're the feet on the ground. You are doing the thing. Sometimes this can be to the level of kind of feeling used, I think. Of course, this happens when you are the person within a family taking care of other family members, or just generally you work in some kind of medical field or care or teaching or whatever it is. Oftentimes people don't necessarily recognize the amount of work you do, or they willfully and intentionally ignore how much effort you put in because they themselves are not doing the same. Okay, so I feel like this is a real confirmation. It is a belovedness. I see little hearts. I see there is a horse here, okay, with a person on top, and moving on to the next thing as well. So I do almost feel like this is kind of a feeling of thank you and wishing you well on your journeys, right? Because it is that you are kind of transitioning into this new period of your life. And I feel that you will be watched over, especially by this person who you have spent so much of your energies helping. Now, we also have a Z and an A. Okay, so ZA, if that means anything to you. We also have the number 82. Okay, and now down here we have the number 502. You can see right here, 502. Now, let's see. We have it looks like a dog who is running, leaping, jumping, like some kind of hunting dog. We also have the number 209. 209. 502, 209. Okay, we have the dog jumping, running, running, running. So I feel like in this time where there are changes happening, there is some kind of separation going on, maybe deciding to let go of your relationship with a family member like we talked about at the beginning. But I do think that as this goes on and you kind of have really the bravery to disconnect from this person, I feel that you will have support from people that you don't necessarily realize see what's going on, and they maybe can relate or maybe have the same problems with this person. So as you kind of go through this threshold into alleviating the stress and the pain and the just the general dis-ease of knowing this person, right? Having this person in your life actively, it might feel like lonely, or, people are going to turn on you, or they won't understand. But in reality, I think it's very clear from those who are on maybe the outside, they see this is not a good thing. This person treats people poorly. And, I think that ultimately you will have the love and support that maybe you worry will be lacking. Now, I think that you worrying about that isn't going to stop you, right? I feel like it's gotten to a point where, absolutely, you're going to do what you have to do. It doesn't matter what other people think about it. It doesn't matter kind of what the fallout will be. There is just really this sense of like, it's time for me to move on. If I do anything for myself, I will do this, right? I will make sure that I'm able to, have the life that I want to have. And so, yes. Okay, let's go ahead, and we're going to do our divine doors, okay? And I'm going to flip through, and I'm going to stop where it feels right, okay? And I'll flip it over. It says, patience. Everything soon will come to light, and then you will see things will be all right. Things will be all right. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And let's see, what else? Oh, yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I absolutely love hearing from each and every one of you. And especially if you are new to the channel, let me know. Maybe this is your first time, second time. You've been watching for a couple weeks or whatever. Yes, let me know, okay? It absolutely just makes my day. So anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Good night.